think the Earth Girl Sally is right.
Her name is Shelly, not Sally.
Whatever. I disagree with Sally too. Ants aren't led by a queen that gives orders to the rest of the colony. Did you see any queen giving orders to the rest of the ants? I didn't.
There wasn't enough time for the queen to give orders. Remember how fast the colony reacted once the first ant found the worm? I have an idea. What if instead of taking orders from the queen, all the ants are making decisions by themselves?
But if the queen isn't in charge, how can the other ants know what to do?
I see what you're saying. Instead of there being one leader ant in charge at the top, like a queen as Sally suggested.
It's Shelly!
Right. Instead of like Shelly said, maybe there's a bottom-up system.
Bottom up?
No, bottom-up organizational theory. Look, all the ants are doing their own thing. One ant scouts the food,
One ant fights the worm.
and one ant transports the worm meat.
Except, there were hundreds of ants we saw.
Sure, there are lots of different ants that do one kind of job, like an assembly line.
Right, like you would see at a factory that makes things like refrigerators. One person might be putting the door on, and another might be installing bolts or soldering.
The same must be true here. There's lots of ants, and each does a different job.
That makes sense. No one ant is more important than the other ant. There's no leader. Each ant is part of a big picture. Each helps the other based on whatever their specific job is.
If you think about it, it's like human bodies.
What do you mean?
I know what she means. A human liver has an important job to do, just like the heart, but neither of those organs would work well if they didn't have each other to work together with and communicate with.
I think I got it now. Ants have a bottom-up organization. But one thing I don't get is how these ants know how to locate the worm after the first guy found it.
I didn't hear them talking. Did you?
Maybe they used mental telepathy.
What's that?
That means they talk to each other by using their minds.
Even if mental telepathy were possible, I don't think ants could do it. They have pretty tiny brains.
Let's roll the footage back in fast motion once again and see if we find any clues. Stop! Right there. See that? What? It's just ooze coming from an ant's butt. Gross! Can we watch something else, please? No, there's a reason for it.
You're right. It's like a trail.
Oh, for the other ants to follow. I get it now. That's smart.
So the first guy found a worm by touching him with his antlers.
No, his antenna. Ants have antenna. Deers have antlers.
Oh yes, right. Then he took off for home base, leaving a trail behind him with his butt. The others just followed the trail back to the worm.
And then they all did their own jobs. Some of them fought the worm, and some of them took the worm meat back.
All right. This all makes sense.
Okay, now we've figured this mystery out, what do you say we abduct some random humans and do a bunch of tests on them?
Or just tickle them.